Hello, you guys are listening to The Pen. I am your host, Jacob Pro. We got the Spinnaker Swiss Army Knife and the mellow fan head, Drew McDonald.
Get it.
We got your mom's favorite Little Leaguer, Hunter Malone, as well as he is our local Pogue and all-time Baker extraordinaire. And with us today are the twins galore, Anthony and Dimitri Samarkos. Welcome to the show, boys. Let's
Thanks
go
for
ahead
having
and
us.
No need for the be formalities. Y'all just happy y'all could be here. Come on now.
Yeah, we have a very tight schedule. We have post game lined up, and
you and your reffing, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Me and Hunter know straight off the bat that reffing sucks.
Oh, yeah, you're telling us.
Oh, the stories. We could go on for about 45 minutes of just.
That's another episode.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's just go ahead and does these boys have to be off soon? We're gonna go ahead and dive into our NHL talk.
Yeah.
And let's just go ahead and open up with obviously Drew, do you want to open us up with a fact this evening before we dive in?
I have a fact or two, actually. So John Odgers, he's the color guy for the Thrashers TV team. He was the San Jose Sharks captain in 1994. Who knew? I didn't.
You boys big Atlanta Thrashers fans? Because we're an Atlanta Thrashers podcast. You know, we rep them to the end. Because you know why?
Their end
jerseys
was before we were born. So
no, their end was like 07, buddy.
Yeah, no, it was. I do like their jerseys though. Their jerseys were pretty sick. I will give them that.
I want to try and find one. Those things are raw. But Drew will periodically drop facts in anytime.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and dive into it. So the NHL has released this new playoff format, obviously, and it opened up with the new 22-team playoff format, the top four seeds, and all of that.
Is it 22 or 24?
22 teams. No, 24.
Yeah, we got to get a fact check on that.
Thank God Jacob Prell is not a math major, because otherwise we would be screwed.
Dude, I didn't do well in math. Y'all remember that. That was a tough time back in high school.
It's dyslexia.
Miss Adrian's class and all that jazz. That was bad. Just kidding.
After the playoff thing, I need a fact check on that Seattle team.
I'm excited for that Seattle team, not going to lie. If it's going to be anything like Vegas, they're going to be gross.
Seattle is what? They have like 4 or 5 different names for it, and it's just like they're all
but think
atrocious.
about it. The draft, how many players can they lock at this point? You know.
Team lost 7-3 or 7-3-1 or 7-4-0. I don't know exactly. I know you can lock. I know there's a set number. I think you lock 1 goalie, 3 defensemen, and 7 forwards if you're doing an expansion draft.
Yeah, so an expansion draft, each team has to put up a select group of players. And if you're Vegas and you get lucky, whoever they drop off goalie, you're getting a legendary all-time tendy in Marc-Andre Fleury.
I think that was a huge mistake for Pittsburgh, not keeping
Pittsburgh had like 5 guys in the pipes. You know, they had Tristan Jerry, they had Matt Murray, my bad. Those 2 guys, and now Tristan Jerry overtook the top spot from Murray because
I never liked Murray anyway, to be honest. His hands were a little weak.
So these 2 goons, Hunter is starting to get into hockey a little. But when I mean by little, I mean he only pays attention to Boston and periodically checks in on the Lightning.
That's pretty fair. Yeah.
Out of every team you chose in the NHL, you decided to choose Boston?
He's a huge Boston guy, all of them.
I just want to know how bad your heart hurt after Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And Jacob kept Snapchatting me. And I was like, I don't remember doing this to you for the Super Bowl.
Freaking the drive where Gronk caught it, he was like, y'all ain't scoring here. Y'all ain't doing this. And it's just once Gronk caught and they scored, Hunter was in there, and he was like, he does this thing where he nervously eats.
Bro, I spent $50 on food during the Super Bowl.
Because we got these corn dogs and we had our wings, which were terrible. But he got these corn dogs and he ate the corn dogs so fast that he was like, ma'am, I need another round of corn dogs.
He was like, I just dropped him off, got a refill, came back, and I was like, I need another basket. She was like, what the fuck?
And then once they scored and went up, I think 10-3 or whatever, Hunter was like, okay, I can relax. He backed off a little bit. Oh my God, it was. Don't even start. Boys, let's go ahead and open up with so who do we think is gonna win this Stanley Cup?
Oh, I couldn't tell you with this format. My word.
It's weird
Definitely
because
thinking the
this.
Detroit Red Wings.
Because you think about it, it just is basically who can come back ready the fastest and whose goaltender is going to be hot quickly. Because you got teams like Montreal, who Carey Price can probably will them out of the
First
round. I don't know who they're playing, I forget, but he can will them out. And then you
They
got
played the
teams
fifth
like
seed, I'm
Boston.
pretty sure.
Well, yeah, teams like Boston over here who were dominating all season are now official President Cup trophy winners.
And then you have teams like
I
Philadelphia.
put quotes because you never finished the season.
Philadelphia will actually be an interesting one because they ended on a 10 or 11 game win streak straight.
They were rolling.
They were rolling. So it'll be interesting to see how they come back.
Kata Hot was rolling.
Yeah, but the return to play format is they're doing it in phases. Phase 4 is when they actually start, but they let all so they're letting all the players come back to their hub cities. They're doing they allow small group workouts and ice time, and then they're putting a month of basically training camp back in, so players can get their legs and everything ready, and then they start.
Yeah, they just opened up yesterday with phase 2 and all that. I think this format, Tampa Bay voted against this playoff format.
So did Carolina, but Carolina ends up playing New York.
Well, Carolina was more we're going to be matched up with New York, and New York has season swept us. So
yeah. New York has actually the goaltending wise through New York is very interesting because they have Lundqvist.
I didn't realize that Lundqvist wasn't the starter anymore.
They have 2 young guys. They have 2 young Russian guys, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So
there's 3 of them that could all be starters.
It's the same issue that Columbus almost had before they, I think, are finally decided to go with Elvis Marinkolas.
No. If anything, this would compare to Pittsburgh with the expansion. You either keep Fleury or you keep Murray. I mean,
yeah, but Lundqvist has also been out of his. I think he's out of his prime now. King.
Lundqvist. Are you kidding me? The man's 35 years old.
That man's old. And now it's you got teams like Tampa, who's a quick, fast team, but they started really slow to begin the season earlier this year.
They always start slow this season, though.
But that's the thing. They're off a 3-month hiatus or whatever, and they're going to come back and immediately have to try and get seeding because there's a chance they can go down to the 4. And it's you're asking this team who's normally built on quickness to get quick. And already the line of defense that Tampa has always had a defense problem. Or for some reason, they want to leave Vasilevsky out there to die. Because he takes –
actually, if you look at their defensive –
it looks good on
players,
paper.
It looks sick on paper. They have the best defensive 6 in the entire league, hands down. You could not question it. Any one of those guys could start on any other team.
I think the Blues have a better one, but –
no.
I mean, Ben Bishop put his groin on the line for us because we left him to dry. So
yeah, Ben Bishop he had a weird departure. He had a weird departure. Y'all don't remember Ben Bishop got traded. Okay, you know what's funny about Andrei Vasilevsky? I remember when he was still the backup, every time he would come in, Tampa would lose. Any game he would start. And then eventually Tampa just traded away Ben Bishop, and I was like, well, I guess we're rebuilding somehow. And then Andrei Vasilevsky just becomes the best goaltender on earth somehow.
Man is interesting. Have you ever seen him play? His eyes become like Bugsy's eyes from bedtime stories. He manages to open his eyes wide up. Scary as hell to look at.
Steroids do a lot to people. No, I'm just kidding.
True. I think you got
something else.
You got another fact for us?
No, I have more than one.
Let's go.
One by one. So for the first time in franchise history, the Thrashers made the playoffs 2006. First time ever they made it. Amazing. I mean, what a franchise.
Didn't they get franchised over to Winnipeg in 07, 08?
But in those glory days, though, between 99 and 2011, history was made in numerous ways for the Thrashers. I mean, look at, for example, Danny Heatley won the Calder Trophy in 2001. What a beast.
Was that the highlight of the franchise?
No, more than that. I'll go on later on, but we'll kind of pace ourselves throughout the show.
Yeah. But going back, I don't know how to segue off of that. But going back, it's Tampa, obviously, you mentioned their defense, and it's what? It goes
Oh, sorry.
Well,
I'm
you
getting
got
called.
somebody
I'm
calling
telling
you.
you,
I didn't know you were popular.
It's these other post-game interviews.
Pre-game, bro. It's pre-game out here.
Well, actually, I just went around the golf today, so post-golf interviews.
Oh, we got to play some golf when I get back to Tampa, boys.
Dude, today was a very rough day for me. Driving-wise, it just was not there. But give me a sandwich, and I'm putting it 10 feet from the pin every time.
Nice. Again, back to the defense. I mean, I agree. I mean, Tampa has a very good defense on paper. You got Hedman, Sergachev, McDonough, Shattenkirk. I think Cernak, Coburn.
Like, you got Rutta. He's a seventh defenseman, but he's, I think, 22, and he's looking pretty good.
But those are good. That's good, but it's like Sergachev is hit or miss sometimes.
Sergachev's an offensive defenseman. He's not
I was
that guy
about to say.
you
That's the thing. Like, it's two different styles now because I think that's where Tampa can get hurt is that Sergachev is such an offensive defenseman that I think you need to pair him with the right guy. I don't know who he's currently paired with. I assume the top line is McDonough, Hedman, and then Shattenkirk, Sergachev, or it's Cernak. And no. Do y'all know the pairings?
It's Kovalchuk, Petrovicki, Osa, and
Petrovicki?
I'm pretty sure it's – I'm trying to think.
Can we get a Siri check on that?
Yeah. Probably look it up. I think
when the games I've been to, it opened up with Cernak, Hedman, and then it went McDonough, Sergachev, and Shattenkirk, and whoever the sixth guy would have been. The thing is, I think people don't realize that are hockey fans that how big that Shattenkirk deal was. They signed him for a 1 year, I think, like $2 million. I forget what the numbers are. This guy used to be a top defenseman in the league. He started out with the Blues. And we traded him to Washington, which is what we do with all of our players, like TJ freaking Oshie. Never understood why we ever did that. Never understood and met that man.
Okay, we pick up the New York Rangers is actually our NHL farm team.
Yeah, it is. Until they got the bread man, and the bread man basically has willed them to the playoffs.
Oh, dude, the bread man is ridiculous. You cannot doubt that bread man.
For y'all that don't know, the bread man is Artemi Panarin.
The dumbest trade out of Chicago.
Chicago's just a horrible franchise now.
Chicago was a good
playoffs. Don't get me wrong; that's good for the league and ratings, but they're like the Red Wings now. They had all their glory days, and they signed everybody to long terms, and now they all got old.
Yeah.
Like Corey
now they're in the rebuild. This is what we call a rebuild start. Detroit's looking like a 5-year rebuild.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's talk about Hunter's Bruins over here so he can hop in the mix a little bit. Here's why I don't think Boston will win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, great.
Because they choke?
No. Well, other than that, I don't think Tuukka Rask I think Tuukka Rask is going to get hurt from the amount of layoff he's had. He played a very minimalist set of games in the regular season. Him and Josef Halak split basically like a 2-to-1 ratio because he split, I think, the Jennings Trophy, which is the tandem with the lowest goals against average.
Yeah.
Then it's I think they're also going to run into another problem.
Get out.
You know what, Hunter? If you wanted us to just leave, you could have just simply said so.
Bro, I don't know why these two dinglings just hopped in here. Like, I didn't tell them I was hopping on.
Yeah, imagine walking to a room in your house and getting yelled at.
But no, I
can't do anything right at home. My God.
It's a traumatic experience.
I think Boston, we'll have another issue of like they had in the Stanley Cup was the perfection line that Hunter loves to boast about. I don't think it's gonna. They didn't show up in the Stanley Cup, and if they
one line does not make a team. One line does not make a team. You need 20
and
guys.
I think Boston lacks the depth.
The NHL was cheating. They didn't want us to win. They added rules that was against licking.
Against licking.
Do you want to be licked?
I'm sorry, but
I didn't know that's what you were into, Hunter.
I can't be. I don't need my visor cleaned. I do not need you to lick my visor.
Quarantine's been really rough for Hunter.
Hunter's Hunter's all in on the full face shields over here.
Bro, I think it's yeah. Wear the full face shield.
He's a big fishbowl kind of guy.
Only fish bowls, no cage, because he can weasel his tongue through the little cage.
He's got the fishbowl helmet and the
Fishbowl.
fishbowl cage.
Bro, do you guys remember last year Zdeno Chara wore a fishbowl, but except he punched out the glass, the visor part of it because he hated playing with visors. So all he had was just the jaw because of the little line below. You remember that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I do.
I don't remember that one.
They had to give him a special
Bubble.
protector.
Oh,
It was basically just no, it was like the fish bowl that like comes out over your chin a little bit, but then it just
because he broke his jaw that he needed it.
Yeah.
You know what team I think is going to make some serious noise in the Stanley Cup? I don't have that much faith. It's hard to repeat. It's hard to repeat in the NHL. It's extremely hard. That's why when you do, it's really impressive. Like Pittsburgh, it does like I think at the Blues, the big issue that we have that really isn't much of an issue is can Bennington, because Bennington kind of has a tendency to be a slow starter. The question is, can Bennington, regain that form as quickly? And the question is, will Tarasenko, who's been out basically all season, come in and fuck up chemistry?
Nah.
It's like
I mean,
if Yager's going to come back to the NHL.
Kovalchuk will come back. Don't worry. I have faith on that one.
Kovalchuk has been back. He's in Washington.
Yeah, but is he really in Washington?
In the parades is not the same thing as on the ice.
I mean, I get that.
Just because you get a Stanley Cup ring doesn't mean you actually play.
That was a weird thing. When the celebration happened at the TD Garden, there was like 4 or 5 guys that came out of the locker room like fully dressed, and I was like,
Yeah, where'd you come from?
like, where have y'all been? Like, where are y'all
So-
sitting at?
The rule with that is with your name on the Stanley Cup is if you play at least one playoff game or you're rostered for 20 games in the regular season, playing. So you either play a quarter of the regular season or at least one playoff game, and that's how you get your name on the cup and the team picture and everything. They give rings out to all staff and all that, but that is because you'll see guys on there that you've never seen play, but they played when someone was injured. They called up someone for 20, 25 games.
Yeah.
And he get a cup. He gets a ring and a name on the cup and a day with it.
No matter who wins the Stanley Cup, I feel like the backup goalie for Carolina definitely deserves a day with it. He had a remarkable.
Dave Ayers.
Dave Ayers.
He had
He wasn't
a
even.
remarkable.
He was not. He was just the emergency goaltender for both teams. He came out in all Toronto Marlies gear.
Well, because he practices with that the AHL team,
Yeah.
the Marlins. So he's like a rank manager or something. And then
Are you gonna sign up to be an e-bug?
Yeah. So e-bug.
Be an e-bug.
I want to be an e-bug. That's the life.
Yeah.
You literally go to every home game and you sit and you hope you get it, but you don't want someone to get hurt. So it's very conflicted.
Which one did y'all like better, Dave Ayers or what's his name, Scott Foster?
Scott Darling
No,
or
Foster.
Scott Foster. Ayers. I liked Ayers.
Foster was a more entertaining story because he was an accountant.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
was an accountant by day. He came out and then I think didn't get scored on.
No, well, because I don't even think he played as much as Ayers did.
No,
Ayers
he
played at least a period and a half.
Yeah, Ayers got left out to the Wolves. Left out.
Dude, imagine going back to the locker room, realizing you didn't score.
Toronto.
Like, come on. I
Feel
love
bad
you,
for
but
Toronto.
come on. Half these guys are playing beer league, and you got guys being paid $9 million to score, and they can't. Like, what do you do after that? Like,
Toronto is just such a doomed franchise.
Toronto is the only reason why Toronto is still around is because they were good.
I don't know how they make some of the deals they have because they are so strash capped.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are. I don't know why.
The NHL needs to fix this cap issue because it's a monumental problem.
You want Steven Stamkos to start making LeBron James money or what?
No, I think he should be getting paid way more than $11 million a year.
The cap for the most amount for one player you can pay is I think 14 or 15 million.
I think they deserve way more. I think Connor McDavid should have broke the market.
Connor McDavid,
He either
but
will.
guys that won't take as much, so that there's more cap space for other guys.
I mean, yeah, but still, you got, football players making tons of money.
Yeah, well, the football, but what's the salary cap? 155 million, I think, or something like that.
That's salary cap's an issue for another time because I got to research the numbers. I'm just doing this.
Got a
off
fat
the
guy
top of
down
my
there.
head.
Where's our fat guy on this one?
Fact guy.
Fat guy.
Yeah, what's the salary cap for the NHL?
You mentioned Kovalchuk about ways back, but Kovalchuk was drafted by the Thrashers in the first pick of the round, 2001 overall. But also, Andy Sutton, what a goon for the NHL, was traded to the Thrashers for not Donicelli back in the day.
Thank you.
Then I got Ronald Petrovicki, had 8 goals for the Thrashers in the 05 season. My last one before we'll finish this one. Kurt Frazier, the first Thrashers coach, his previous job was the Orlando Silver Bears. Back to the day, guys. Thrashers. Live it, love it, passion.
He still hopes he can get season tickets to the Thrashers.
Hell yeah.
But let's go on, boys. Like I was saying before, I think Colorado is going to be a real dark horse. Them or Dallas. I see a lot of odds favoring Vegas, but I think Vegas will run into a problem with, depending how it all plays out, another team from the West, from the Pacific, rather than the Central. I think Colorado can make some serious noise because I think Colorado is really battling some injuries. I think Grubauer got hurt right before the break. But then you get you get McKinnon back. You get McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, that entire line's already solid. Him and Landeskog, the defense is pretty good, even though they traded away Tyson Barrie to the Toronto Maple Leafs. But they're also really riding on Cale Makar, who's, I think –
oh, he's ridiculous.
Cale Makar is I don't know if you guys seen this kid play, but I watched him when he first came in that Game 3 against Calgary in the playoffs, which was weird. I don't know how that worked, but this kid went from playing in the Frozen Four, won the Hobie Baker Award, which is best collegiate hockey player, and then 3 days later signed his contract and went and played in the Stanley Cup playoff game.
Yeah, because he's technically a free agent.
I was about to say, that was so weird. I was just like, well. Yeah. And then he scored his first goal the same night. I think Colorado
he's a free agent.
Noise. I think Philadelphia has a strong chance if Kata Hot can get hot. I think it's over for the league. I love saying Kata Hot.
What do you think about
channeling my little RA from Spittin' Chicklets over here? Do you even listen to Spittin' Chicklets?
Nope.
Exactly. Shut up.
Bro, I play NHL 20.
And you get smoked.
Whoa.
Who's on the cover of NHL 20? Just so we know.
Austin Matthew.
Okay, just making
What
sure.
school did he go to?
I know the big name players, but if you're who's on the fourth line of any team, I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna struggle with that. I'm gonna struggle. He's been retired.
Pat Maroon.
That's a good guess.
Big rig, Pat Maroon.
Dude, he's the nicest guy off the ice too.
He plays. His son plays roller.
His son played roller hockey. There was a national tournament in Wesley Chapel for it. So his kid was doing a 2-on-2 skills competition. One of the tournament directors came up to me because I was running music for that. And he goes, whenever that kid scores, put on Gloria. So his kid scored, and I did.
You know what's funny is that, the Blues players, once the Stanley Cup is over and, finally, they did the parade and Gloria got played about 4,000 times, they were so glad that it was done. Don't get me wrong, I love that song just because of the memories it brings back.
It's
What?
like going to those riots in Arkansas.
Sucks.
Say again?
It's a really shitty song.
Well, that's because you're salty that you lost in 7.
No, that shit just it got after the first time I heard it.
Do you even know the story behind it? Because the story is
Oh,
whack.
the story's amazing.
I don't
It's
know,
hilarious.
but they need to make a better song.
So Robert Bortuzzo Bortzi went on Spit and Chicklets, and I actually listened to the interview, and it was basically it was when Jordan Bennington got his first shutout, first start, and I think first shutout at Philadelphia against the Flyers.
Yeah, no, they were in Philly when it happened.
Yeah, so they decided to go out to a bar later that night. They go out to the bar, and they're watching Chicago and Philadelphia, the infamous double doink playoff game. But the entire night, they found Gloria, and they were like, boys, this got to be our victory song. And I forget who it was. I think it was either Vince Dunn or Perron kept asking for it to get played again. Pretty sure it was Dunner. And basically, that's how it started. And then for the rest of the way, it's been that. And then thank God they stopped it because that was rough. Tampa Bay did that too. Their victory song was the win song was like win. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And then we started losing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they
That was
changed it up to a
this
couple
was John
songs.
Grady.
And they got it to Gravy Train.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but unfortunately, last season it was
Dude,
just
watching Deming with those celebrations was after the games.
I miss Louis Domingue. We
I do
traded
too.
him to New Jersey.
I don't know why we did. I don't know what was so special about McElhinney that we needed.
I think McElhinney was better cap wise than Domingue.
No, he was more expensive. More expensive and older, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I'm not in charge of the Tampa Bay Lightning now, am I?
Breeze was is now.
Yeah, Breeze Boys. Because
They got Lightning players.
Yurtsman went
like
to Yurtsman went to Detroit to try and fix that terrible franchise they have over there.
Yeah.
It's a horrible franchise.
So that
What else is a horrible
Lightning-
franchise? Boston Bruins. Man, what a horrible franchise. Hate them.
Imagine not paying the people that work at your arena because of COVID.
Yeah, y'all don't look good in the PR.
Yeah, PR, that was a terrible PR nightmare.
You don't work, you don't get paid. Find another job.
You couldn't have.
In a
'cause of COVID.
pandemic?
I found a job.
Doing what?
UNF doesn't pay me to ref.
Dude,
See,
dude,
I ref, I
dude,
don't get
you
paid,
got
so
a Dunkin' Donuts job, and then you had to go get tested for COVID. You worked there for like
three shifts, and I got sick as fuck.
you got sick, had to get tested for COVID, tested negative, thank goodness. But then he comes back on the show later, and he's like,
I didn't pass.
someone continue. My dogs are going nuts. Hold on. Hey,
Mute yourself.
I did mute my.
No, you did not. My word.
He like muted himself and then said unmute so I can yell.
He muted
It
instead.
looks like a mime going on right now.
So in other words, the summary of that Gloria story was a bunch of drunk guys that play hockey, went
It's
to
a St. Louis thing, man.
song,
Hunter.
said we're gonna keep listening.
When you go to St. Louis, it's just all people do is drink,
Oh, yeah.
baseball, hockey.
Have you seen that video with Kaloran and all the Lightning players?
That's
That was,
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't realize Vasilevsky was like that ripped.
oh, dude, that made
See Jordan Bennington, and Jordan Bennington's like a tall drink of water. And you see Andre Vasilevsky, and you're like, well, I didn't think that's what he would look like underneath. Fucking flexing iron on the side. I'm just like,
Dude, the funniest part was Sorelli being a waiter.
Sorelli. That was, and I know it, and we all know the restaurant he was at too.
Oh, dude, I've gone past there so many times.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine being the people that was serving that he was going to.
There were probably people from the front office that helped like choreograph it.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably who it was. Because otherwise, if there were real people, he would never have gotten that video off.
No.
Who do you boys think will win? Because we know Art Ross is going to Draisaitl. Who do you think's winning the Hart?
What's the hard
Right.
trophy again?
Yeah.
MVP of
Okay,
the
that's what
league.
There's
Wow.
so many trophies. I just need some help sometimes.
Ooh,
There's a
MVP.
ridiculous amount of trophies. It's like you got
Good sport of the year.
Yeah, you got
Best
best
forward.
defensive forward.
Yeah.
Best
I don't know the
defensive.
names.
What? How do you evaluate the best defensive forward?
I think it's by plus minus rating. On
You know
top.
what?
It's a combination. I'm pretty sure it's like plus minus rating, shots blocked.
I haven't kept up with the stats and stuff of each individual player.
Hockey
but
stats are kind of hard to follow. No cap.
One player that I think in particular that's always done a good job every season is Patrick Kane. I think he's pretty consistent each year.
He's pretty good. I think a lot of people think Panarin's gonna win it because of what he did with the Rangers.
You know,
Doesn't matter. I mean, he's
I think
basically
it's
the Ranger team. He carried that
either
team.
Panarin or Draisaitl. It's one of the two.
Draisaitl's ridiculous, but he's so underrated because of McDavid.
He's gonna be out. He's gonna be the Malkin to McDavid.
Oh yeah, no, he will.
Malkin to McDavid's Crosby. Like if you take Draisaitl and put him on any other team, he's still really good. But because he's with Connor McDavid, he's down a peg. I think a lot of people think Pasternak can win it too, but he kind of tapered off towards the back end of the year a little bit, but he still played really well. I think, was it the Selke's the best defensive forward? I think Hunter said Patrice Bergeron. I seen things of Sean Couturier, Anthony Cirelli's even in the mix. RRR, Ryan O'Reilly's in the mix. Vezina, I don't know who's going to win Vezina because
You can't even do awards because the season didn't finish, and between COVID and everything,
so the season's over. So
yeah, I realize that. But
these end of year awards, I think Vezina. I don't know who it will go to. I saw Connor Hellebuck a lot because
Hellebuck's been
Peg
good.
was trash. When Peg was trash, and Connor Hellebuck kept him in it for a long period of time.
Well, so St. Louis,
So-
but we don't mention that.
I don't want to be the mayor of bad news, but I'd like a fact check to end our
Let's get a
special.
fact check to send these boys off.
Yeah, we're gonna go referee some hockey games, get chirped by a bunch of old guys, and then come
Is
home.
this beer league? Is this beer league?
It is.
This is A-League. This is the top stuff right here. This is the top beer league.
These are the elite
So
players.
what? Of the neighborhood? Wow, I'm so terrified.
Yeah, just the kids who don't have corona.
Yeah.
It's a funny mix. You'll have some college kids playing. You'll have 15 and over guys playing that still can keep up. It's a funny mix. But
All right, boys, let's get a fact check. We got to have you come back on again to talk some more hockey again in a couple weeks. And Drew, send them off on another Thrashers fact.
Guys, some trivia. Who was the all-time leader in goals for Thrashers history?
go
I
with
think
that.
I know this one.
Yep. 328. What a goat for the Thrashers. Feel the freaking heat.
Don't worry. If we get chirped tonight, we'll use that fact, and they'll stop talking.
Yes. Boom.
Go.
Who is it?
At a boy.
I don't know who it
See you
is.
boys.
Thanks, boys, for having us on.
Guys.
See ya.
See ya.
So those were the twins, Anthony and Dimitri Samarkos. They're going to pop in. They're going to be our resident hockey sources. Kind of going off that, we talked a little bit of hockey, chirped a little bit, have some fun. We'll get back and talk some way more hockey when the playoffs start and all that. But let's go ahead and dive into the big news. Golf's back. Just kidding. That's not the big news. The big news is the NBA announced a new 22-team playoff format. Forget if I even mentioned the last show, but it basically has finally came out with the hard rules and what's actually happening. Only one team from the East is going to try and play into the tournament. It's basically the Wizards and our boy Bradley Beal, who was trained by our boy Drew Hanlon out here. Shout out to him. Great interview with him. I think the Wizards have a very steep hill to climb. I don't think they'll make it. The West is interesting because you got, Zion at, I think, the 10. You got Portland at 9. You never know who can make it up. But Memphis has, a 3.5 lead on them. A bunch of teams are basically sitting safe. We'll see how it all goes. But you guys got any initial takeaways from it?
I think Memphis is gonna squeak by, and then they're gonna get wrecked.
1-1 in any other way.
But yeah, the West is going to be interesting because it's 4 teams that could possibly make it. Did you see the odds for? I think it's like the odds for the Lakers are like 200, and then the odds for Sacramento, it was like I want to say like 200,000 or 2 million
To just win it all or make the playoffs?
to win it all, and it was like they had like 1,000%, like they were like 1,000% more likely to win it. It was something crazy that I saw. It was funny. I'll see if
I'm not money on Sacramento at all.
saved it.
Bad bet.
But I think it's gonna be weird. Also, I mean, the 76ers, have you watched any of their games and noticed how like all their wins have been at home? So the fact that they're not gonna be at home, I think they're gonna get stomped on.
I think me and Hunter had our interview with Drew Hanlon. I think Hanlon made a really good point of it's basically going to be like scrimmage and pickup ball. And you take out the crowd and you get to see pound for pound who is the best team in the NBA right now. Which I think when you look at it like that, that's such a cool idea. But it's like having no fans suck. You know?
Yeah. The 76ers home record, they're 935. Their win percentage, and away they're 294.
Yeah, they're not good when they're away.
Like it was like the difference. Oh, my bad. 294. The difference is 641. That's drastic. So every home game, you win just about every home game, and you lose just about every away game. Like that's considering in a playoff format where there is no home, and I guess. Well, everything's away now. Is
Did you see that they were like, teams can ship their home courts to the facilities? And I'm like, what is that gonna do?
I don't know.
You know how much like work that means, and you have to meet. That's more manpower. Like, come on, NBA, what are you doing out here? I don't know. I think it'll be really cool to see, but I think it's like Drew said, Drew Hanlon, pound for pound, see who the better team is. I think certain teams are going to thrive off it. I think the Clippers are going to thrive off of it. They're getting healthy. There's a secondary team in Los Angeles. I put it in quotes because there's apparently some Clipper fans out there, very like 5 of them.
I've never seen any of them.
I haven't. I've only seen Kawhi fans, Paul George fans. Or if you were a real one way back during the Dunk City era.
Blake Griffin fans, boy.
Blake Griffin, CP3.
Or Corey Maggette. See, obviously, y'all don't hear about that. He was the OG Clipper.
You lost us there, buddy.
You're showing your age, bud. Yeah. I found the Lakers are 200 and the Kings are 200,000. That means the Lakers are currently 1,000 times more likely to win the NBA Finals than the Kings. And that's from Caesar Palace.
Nice.
So Vegas literally dropped that. I thought it was funny because that's such a huge, it's a huge difference. Not like we had any thoughts that the Kings were going to win it. But if you were to put the dollar on the Kings and they do win it, I mean, that's a fat check coming your way.
It is, but do we really think the Kings are going to win it all?
Yo, I'll throw $1.
Let us know how that works out for you, Hunter.
I'll throw $10. Say they make it through the gauntlet. Then they go on to the finals and win it. You know how much of a genius I'm going to look? $10. And the odds are 1 in 2 or 200,000. I can't do the math on that because I don't want to. Math guy, how much money would I win if I put $10 on that?
My answer is it's kind of.
We need to get – you know what we need to do next, boys? We need to get Tyler on the show and give us a whole degenerate gambling corner. Tell us everything about the odds, the whole 9 yards, all of it. But, yeah, I don't know about all the betting and all that, but.
It's very weird because my boys in A-Town are out of the playoffs. They're done. But I got to find some
Y'all never stood a chance.
And I'm going west here. To
No.
Utah Jazz.
Wrong.
Can't switch.
Give me Mike Conley. Give me Mitchell. Give me Gobert. Give me Joe freaking Ingles.
Give me Corona.
But that's why.
Joe Ingles may not even make it back.
Bro, nobody wants to, everyone's going to be shooting threes against them. No one's going to get close. No one's posting up against them. Because God forbid somebody on me while I'm in the paint. Oh, no. I don't think that team chemistry is all off right now. I don't know.
You also got an ace on alum on that team too, Rajon Tucker from FGCU product.
Breaking them out.
Speaking of bets, I definitely would have put my bet on our poll with Outer Banks.
We can dive into that a little bit later. We're not to that point.
It was an ass whooping.
We're not to that point of the show yet.
I found it and pulled it up. That was an ass whooping.
We'll embrace that conversation a bit later. But even moving on, another big storyline is that Conor McGregor retired. Almost said lost, but he retired again for the 20,000th time again as some PR play that he's trying to spin. I think Conor McGregor's obviously he's a great fighter and he's a big ticket draw, but he's like, I wanted to face Tony Ferguson. I wanted to face Jorge Masvidal. I wanted Khabib. He's like, I want Nate Diaz. And it's like, Dana White's like, you got to slow down, buddy. There's other people in line. You can't just go get Khabib after Justin Gaethje just won and earned his right to go face Khabib next. I think McGregor's just frustrated. He's not getting the fights. I was listening to the whole UFC. The UFC is weird. Apparently, the fighters are independent contractors, but yet they're signed under such a long-term deal too for a number of fights that they have to have, and it's just it's a mind-boggling affair because I don't know. It's weird. The whole contract situation of at UFC is weird. But moving on, we have actual sports back. Hunter is being haunted.
Dude, I got a text, bro.
What is that? You gotta open it for us now.
Bro. All right. This was this is a surprise. I have no clue what it is.
Let's see what it is.
I feel it right now. This isn't even planned or anything.
No. It's kind of
fire bracelets, dude.
Sick.
That was a big letdown.
Bro, they're fire. Look, they're beaded and stuff. They're super fire.
All right.
I
ordered them a little minute ago. And
those are the 36 of my life I'm never gonna get back.
Well, you're welcome because they actually let me pull it up where I found it.
But continuing while Hunter tries to find his stuff, golf is back. The PGA Tour is back. They're starting at the Charles Schwab Challenge, which most golfers wouldn't have even entertained. But it's the first match back. A lot of guys are excited to be back, be playing golf. I think there's going to be a lot of rust on a lot of guys, don't get me wrong. They're fantastic golfers, but, I think we're going to see some higher scores than what we would normally see.
I got it. All right, everybody, go on officiallovebracelets.com. Use my code HMalone, and you will get 40% off and free shipping.
Is that legit?
Bro, it's legit. Honestly, go on Official Love Bracelets. They got some fire-ass shit. I was looking at it, and I got this. I'm about to go get, the green ones next or, coral, whatever it is. They're pretty dope. But, yeah, all I got to do is take a picture with them, post it, and I'll be on their website. This is what it is, these coral ones, the top ones. You can't tell me those aren't fire.
It's a nice color.
So yeah,
Inside is showing, honey.
huh?
Nothing.
Bro, use the code H Malone. You'll get 40% off and free shipping. That's it.
Wow.
Also,
Do you want to
talk
drop
about
how much they are?
They're like 30, but with my code, they're like 20 with free shipping.
For that little piece, for two or just one?
There's 2 of them, but
that's total cost for both?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I was about to say for each was insane.
Oh no. Yeah, they're a
What
30.
drop?
Is like, but they're like
What
great
drop?
material. So here's the order total: 2030 with my code. Without my code, it's kind of ridiculous.
Right. So we'll drop that in the link below. Didn't know we were gonna get a free freaking sponsor out of here, Hunter.
I didn't know that either. This shit just dropped. My mom just threw this at me. I'm stuck.
Right.
These are
But golf. But like I said, golf is back. You know, a lot of rust is gonna be shown on the guys. I don't think this is anything to be taken very seriously yet. Tiger, according to Riggs of Barstool, that his yacht is heading towards Hilton Head, South Carolina, which is home of the Memorial Championship. So we will probably see Tiger Woods then. Golf is back. Sports are slowly starting to come back. Like I said, hockey opened up again. And, yeah, that's basically what's going on in the sports world. Baseball finally – go ahead.
According to the Saugus Rocket Jake Carabas, the union has proposed an 89-game season for full salary. So
the owners aren't going to pay full salaries.
No, they would lose money.
Yeah.
These are millionaires. They're not like a couple million doesn't mean anything to them, but if they're not going to make profits, they're not going to do it.
Exactly. And I read an article today that baseball – here's the thing. Baseball right now is in a major, major issue. It not only because of the owners in that they're like they could have been the first sport back, but think about it. The NBA and NHL are changing over to a December start for basketball and a January-December start for hockey, right? That means the playoffs will end in summer. You know, they're going to end in July or August, maybe September. I don't know what the scheduling looks like. You know what I mean? But, like, that's the issue that baseball is not realizing, because when baseball comes back in February for spring training, guess what's still going to be going on? You have the Super Bowl to open up February. You have college basketball about to get ready for March Madness. You have hockey. You have basketball about in the opening part of their season still. And then baseball comes in and they start their season late March-ish. They keep pushing back the opening days. It used to be mid-April, early April. Now it's starting to teeter into March. You know, it's March. They open up March, and you still have basketball, March Madness. They're not going to get any ratings. You're not going to get ratings from – then hockey still, and then basketball. And it's like, which would you rather watch, baseball or the two others, basketball or hockey, on top of college basketball? Then April comes into play, and what happens in April? The draft. Like, baseball has to realize that they're facing a huge issue, because by the time baseball gets the swing of things, they're not – before, baseball used to be the only sport in the summer, you know, that you had no other things to basically watch but baseball. But now you don't have that option anymore, because by the time they're going to start next season, baseball has lost its ground hold, and the fans that they have currently, they're losing it, you know, because I think the whole owner-player debacle is such a bad look on baseball. And it's like, it doesn't even make the players look that bad, because the owners are becoming super, super greedy. Any remarks?
I mean, I think both sides just want to hold their own. Owners want to make as much money as possible. The players want to make as much money as possible. They can't do that at the same time, because the owners have to give up some. The players have to give up some. I think if you're going to play half the season, you should get half what your contract says. You know, if you're owed, $1 million, you play half the game, like half the games that you're expected, you should get paid. $500,000. That's just common sense to me. But then you also have to think about the minor leaguers. They don't get paid as much. So you take their minimum salary, which is not very much to begin with, you cut that in half, and they don't make minimum wage. So there's the problem there. You go there and you pay, major leaguers. I mean, everyone wants to talk shit about Blake Snell. Yeah, he's a millionaire, just now a millionaire. But you also go and look at a, single A guy. He can't take half his contract. He can't take that half pay cut. If I were to go right now and go, hey, I'm going to cut your days in half. I'm going to give you half your pay. Can you continue to work here?
The issue really,
someone who works on the
minor
salary
leaguers.
goes, cut your salary.
Well, the minor leaguers, they're not going to have a season. If you don't have a season, you can't get paid. Using your same logic, And now you have guys that, we're supposed to maybe get called up. Who knows where they're going to land if the MLB decides to do an expansive roster, I think baseball is so weird because we're all baseball fans, right? We're all kind of big, massive baseball fans, more than the casual viewer, more so than whoever's favorite player is named Aaron Judge or,
Derek Jeter.
You know the people I'm talking about. They only pay attention to the Yankee, Dodgers, and whoever they think looks good stepping up to the plate. The
person has one hat and it's a Yankee blue hat.
Yep. Everybody, or
or the Derek Jeter jersey and only the jersey.
It's just you have to figure out baseball just needs to figure out how can. Because they obviously had big, huge labor union piece, right? And the problem is it's becoming unwell. Trevor Bauer said on the Pat McAfee show that he's 95% sure that there's going to be baseball. He said he's 95 to 100% sure there's going to be baseball. The current problem is the owners are starting to lean back. They're not there yet with the players. If players want more games, the owners are like, no, let's do less games. I think they do go 82 to 85 game range, 75% salaries. On top of they figure out the testing and the playoff things later. Because the biggest thing right now is money for some weird reason.
Everybody wants money.
I mean, I get it, but I think at a certain point, when are you going to realize that, like, hey, you should – do you want to play baseball this season? I don't know.
It's also super weird because you have teams like the Oakland A's who aren't paying their minor leaguers and didn't let them go. So you're technically on the team, like you're on the Oakland A's, but you're just not getting paid, which makes it frustrating because if a team's not wanting to pay me and I'm not playing, I want to go somewhere else. I can't because you didn't release me. I can't go and file for unemployment or anything like that because I'm still, employed by Oakland. I'm just not getting paid. So I think that's super frustrating, and I think you'll see that'll have a huge effect, not this year, but like in 2 years, or say one of those AA guys, they're going to remember this. You didn't release me. You didn't let me go to another team. You're not going to trade me, but you're not paying me. Come when they blow up and they have this initial contract, I guarantee you they're leaving. They're going anywhere else as soon as they can.
I agree. Totally agree. Kind of big NFL news. Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings, my Vikings, he's holding out.
Who cares? What has he done?
He's pretty good.
He is when healthy, but he's been hurt every year. He
has, but last year he played 14 games out of 16, which was, a career high for him. The Vikings were smart with him in terms of the running attack. It was a shoulder injury. Those things are hard to, play through when you're constantly having to lower your shoulder, And I think it just, I think the Vikings will pay him, but it's like they're already so cash strapped that it's just like I don't know what's really going to happen because Kirk Cousins has really fucked over the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, for sure.
And it makes it difficult to try and get – that's why when we re-signed Diggs and Thielen, I was like, I don't know how we pulled it off, but we did. And we pulled off another deal with Kyle Rudolph. And now it's like we had to let go 3 defensive guys. You know, we may not afford some other people, but I think Dalvin Cook will get his money. My thing is that I liked is that Dalvin Cook is not looking to be paid like Christian McCaffrey, but he also wants Christian McCaffrey type money. He wants to be paid in north of $11 million per year annually. And I'm decently okay with that because you saw with a full season of Dalvin Cook how good the Minnesota Vikings offense can be. You know, he helps Kirk Cousins out. QBR, all the numbers go up. Like his touchdown to interception ratio when Dalvin Cook's on the field is like 15-1 versus when Dalvin Cook's off the field it's 10-5. I heard that from First Take this morning. You know, I think Dalvin Cook will get paid, but that's like we're talking NFL news. That's the only thing going on other than the same crap about Dak Prescott and everything. So it's a nice change of pace. So let's go ahead and dive into the rotation. Top 5 athletes you want to play golf with. Hunter, your list was so messed up this morning that I don't even know if I won't even hear yours.
That was so funny.
This man had Aaron Hernandez, O.J. Simpson, and Joe Mixon all in the
Ray
same.
Rice, Joe Mixon, and Ray Lewis.
I'm surprised you didn't put Mike Vick on there.
We love dogs, okay? We're not.
But Mike Vick's like freaking let his dogs. Okay, I'm a open up top 5 athletes. I would go with Steph Curry. I would go with Tony Romo because they're 2 big golfers. I would actually go with because I listened to Alex Kaloran on Spit and Chicklets. He's a big golfer. I would go with Alex Kaloran. I think another guy that would be fun to golf with would be Cody Bellinger. And I had to go one more. I feel like I know Adam Thielen's a big golfer. I wouldn't mind playing with Adam Thielen.
Where do you think you'd place out of that?
Last.
Yeah. I was about to say, Curry, you're not winning. I know that for
No, so Steph Curry, I'm not winning. Tony Romo, probably not. Alex Kaloran's actually sneaky good. Like, he's apparently like a 2 handicap in golf, which is really, really good. In case you guys don't know what that means like per 18 holes, he's about +2 at the end of each round. That's what basically handicap is. It takes your average of like, I think an X amount of 18 holes or whatever to get it. I had to guess what my handicap is. It's probably double digits. It's bad. It's like 20. It's bad. I'm getting better though. I was striping the ball on Sunday, man. I hit one drive about 250 yards. Absolute smoke show. But yeah, I would place dead last. But if we were going up on mini golf though, they get smoked in mini golf. That ass.
Top golf. I want
Top golf.
heck net. Getting my quick 20 points every ball. Hopefully get my doubles and go from there. I was gonna say, Steph Curry's got that holy moly show where he has that extreme mini golf. Are you sure you want to play mini golf with Steph Curry?
Yes. Not in the holy moly golf course, but like.
I want to do the holy moly golf course.
Yeah.
Dude, some of the contestants on that thing is whack. Like,
Yeah.
They had a DJ on, and then they actually get like people who are who work at golf pro shops, and I'm just like, this is so weird.
I'm a professional mini golfer, so I'm excited to be on the course. And I'm like, how are you? What is professional mini golf?
It's legit though. It's a legit thing.
I looked it up and it's legit. And then the guy she's going against is like, I'm gonna count, and they're like, nice. you're gonna get smoked, and then he like gets creamed. Like, all right, well, my 5 to play golf, I had to go with the king, LeBron. So I'd already coming in second. I had to make things personal, so I had to bring Jordan. So I'm coming in third now, and I just wanted to see the bickering and bantering between those two. That was strategic.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to laugh my butt off the entire time. The person who's going to knock me down in the 4th place is going to be Tom Brady. I saw him golf.
I feel like I could beat Tom Brady in golf.
I feel like if I don't talk to him, I could beat him. But I know I will end up talking and saying something, and it's going to light a fire under him, and I'm going to get whooped.
Hunter would be on a par 3, hit it like 5 feet away from the hole, from the pin. Hunter would be like, top that. Tom Brady goes, watch this, punk.
He would take it.
Hole in one. He gets an ace.
I had to bring a lady, so we're going to bring in Serena Williams because why not?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like me and her are going to be competing for maybe 5th place, 4th place, and then I wanted to bring in Michael Phelps.
He's a good golfer. He's a very good golfer.
I was about to say, it was tough. It was either between him or Ryan Lochte, but I called Lochte, and he said he would be down, and I think that would be the biggest lie I've ever heard from him.
You did not call Ryan Lochte.
You did not pick up on the lying joke.
I met Ryan Lochte before. Like he was out of meat. This boy is massive, but he ain't got brains though. This man is dumb as hell.
Drew, did you pick up on my joke? The Ryan Lochte joke?
Not fell flat.
I picked up on the Ryan Lochte joke.
From Rio? When he was
Yes.
lying about getting jumped, bro?
Oh,
He pissed and vandalized a gas station in Rio.
what a guy.
And he said he was ambushed.
He got jumped.
And then the camera footage came out of him being an absolute moron. And he had to take everything back.
What the-
True.
All right, for my 5 guys, I'm going. The funny guy is the best former athlete on radio today, Mr. Dallas Braden. The dude is freaking hilarious. He also threw a perfect game, so that's one thing about him as well. Second is one of the best managers in baseball history, Bobby Cox, 2-time World Series champion. Was raised behind one of the biggest 90s teams in history, the Braves. Won 14 straight division titles, slight flex. Third
Series.
is Cody Rhodes, an athlete.
Ah.
He's smart. He knows the business. Dad's Dusty Rhodes, of course, Dustin Rhodes. He created AEW. A great wrestling mind to pick. Fourth is one of my favorite football players of all time, Jim Kelly. Hall of Famer, beat cancer. Awesome dude just to play golf with. Now, fifth, this guy's played 22 years of NBA basketball. Recently retired. You guys guess who it is?
Tim Duncan.
No, retired like recently. 22 years.
Vince Carter.
Yes, it is. Vince Carter, baby.
Vince Carter.
He's never won a title, but like imagine like his stories of like developing young talent like Trae Young and guys like, JJ Barea. Be interesting.
JJ Barea is a young talent.
Back then it was when Carter was with the Mavericks.
I feel like if I had to have an honorable mention, Pat McAfee. I would love to play golf with Pat McAfee. Him, Peyton Manning are honorable mentions. Charles Barkley, just because I want to make myself feel good about my golf game. Who would you guys think you could beat in a golf match? Charles Barkley or Tom Brady?
Both.
Hunter, your golf game is trash.
Bro, you've never seen me golf.
Yes, Top Golf, you shank it to the right.
No, that was – all right. That was back in the day. But you have not seen me play recently. Like, when I tell you I'm hitting back net, like, automatic dead center, I mean,
Can
like,
you chip?
Boom, boom. Yeah, well, Haley makes me play that dumb game because she can't hit the ball far. So now I've had to, like, work on hitting it, like, in those
All right,
targets.
boys. I brought this up to Drew. Looks like we got to go on a little golf trip now.
Yeah.
Maybe, Hunter, when I come back to Florida, we'll play with the twins. We'll play a little two-man scramble action.
I'm down. You don't want me on your team though.
That's fine. I'll smoke you anyways. I was talking to Drew. I talked to Drew. I go, Drew, we need to do a golf trip.
Is it like weight? Whatever number you get, subtract 10 pounds.
No.
Subtract 10.
No, I wish. Making my golf score look amazing though. No, scramble is you. So me and you would hit our ball, and then between the two of us, we have to pick one ball of which we think will be the best to choose from. The hit, and then we hit, drop. We do the same thing over and over again. And then eventually, like, if I sink the putt, you don't have to putt, and that's our score.
No.
So it would be like, say I outdrive you, but you get your ball onto the green and mine's in the bunker eventually. Then we will choose your ball to putt from rather than play mine out of the bunker. And then it's basically best ball.
I was about to say, with mine, the outside, I threw on Ryan Lochte as a joke, but outside, like being 6th and 7th, I put Wayne Gretzky just because of the stories, and Roger Federer just because his accent's cool. And he's a champion. Like, he's a tennis god. So
Yeah.
I think Roger and Serena Williams battling it off in golf would be a sight to see.
Yeah. I see that.
I thought about doing it. I did it based off like top 5 people I'd like to like meet and hang out for a day. But like I was thinking about doing it top 5 people that like I would sit there and actually have a good time with.
Yeah. I mean, I picked mine off of like I like athletes that actually know how to play golf too and are actually good. So that would always be fun. Because I'll be so trashed that it just wouldn't even matter to me. So like it'll just be all for fun. Yeah. If I had to pick any of the PGA guys, Tiger Woods or Brooks Koepka would be kind of fun to talk to because he's so laid back. This man just doesn't care. He literally was on PMT before, and he was like, yeah, I check out in the middle of massive golf tournaments. He's like, I remember about the first 4 holes, and then I like black out. And then I come back on like the 15th hole.
Ricky Fowler's my guy.
Fowler, big Fowler guy. You're into the funky combinations, aren't you?
He's from Jupiter too, so we're neighbors basically.
I'd have to go with Rory.
I'm a big Rory guy. I like Rory McIlroy.
Rory. Yeah, Rory.
I'd go Kevin Kisner because he's with the Foreplay boys. He's entertaining. So that's basically the show in its entirety in a nutshell, except we have one shining moment for Hunter Malone. The Outer Banks.
So many of y'all know we had a poll on our Instagram. Drew and I got in a heated debate in our group chat. I told him to watch Outer Banks, and he was like, go watch The Office. He's like, it's better. And I was like, you're lying to me. And so he was like, anybody knows it. And I said, anybody? Let's just throw it up on our chat. We'll create a poll.
Yep.
It was essentially Drew.
Yeah, pretty much. You got to vote for every no. There was like 7 no's there. That was it. Same word over and over again. They need to be better.
So I'm going to be honest. I have not finished Outer Banks, but I'm almost done though.
Don't have to though. Don't have to. You skip it.
I'm going to be honest. The back half of Outer Banks is it's really good. I'm invested now.
Like, it's better and better. Like
When it opens, it's really dumb. Don't get me wrong.
It is dumb.
There's still parts of it where I'm like, this is idiotic. But, one, Sarah Cameron's a bombshell. Not only clients a fantastic actress. I think she's going to be my new favorite actress for a long time. At the whole like John B and finding the gold, and like now he finds it and now everybody's after him type of deal is kind of awesome. The whole Rafe and Barry kind of feud, and JJ's storyline is rough as hell.
Yeah, it is.
It's so rough to watch it, man. Pope,
like you can't help but to like
feel bad
for him and feel bad, and you're like, I just want to hug you, dude. Like
he defeated his dad, finally beats him, and then blows all his restitution money.
And then, well, like, dude, that scene when he's in the hot tub or the cat's ass.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it was so sad. Drew, you know how you look right now? You look like me watching The Office. Terrible.
Have you finished, Drew? Have you finished Outer Banks?
Why would I finish that softcore porn shit? I am here living my best life, not watching Outer Banks crap. I don't want.
Are you watching The Office that you've rewatched about 24 times?
Is that good? Yes. I don't want some Hollister model from CPS for 10 episodes, like looking for treasure. I don't want that shit. I want Dunder Mifflin, paper company, that was on 9 seasons.
Ooh.
Now, also, with the poll, there's a lot of collusion. I think that someone in this room might have tipped off his fraternity to click yes on this certain survey.
Fraternity barely voted.
I'm not going to lie. In this room, Drew, you're the only person in your room.
The virtual room, Hunter.
And no, I did not tip off. Actually, I do have a picture of who voted, and it was our old VP, who actually, Clay Looney, shout out Clay, voted for The Office at the top.
What a great guy. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. He's a salt the earth kind of dude, you know. We are the minority here. We are not respected as the Outer Banks fan club, which is kind of dumb. We have an award-winning show in The Office. We have this now 2-0 lackluster show, Outer Banks. Now,
Outer Banks hasn't even been around for a single like award ceremony. So the award ceremony thing is not comparable.
All I will say is Outer Banks season 2 will destroy the internet.
Please bring back, like, I need 6 seasons.
They could do it too.
Like, yeah.
Because all they have to do is find other dumb shit for them to do on the Outer Banks. And their 16, the characters, you know, and majority of the actors are under 25 except John B, who's old. Chase Stokes is old. Compared to everybody else who's 20, 22, 23, 24.
Yeah. I mean,
he's the old man.
Look that old.
I know. That's what I'm saying, though.
I was gonna say, this was like a pretty young cast. It's not like
Outer Banks, though.
I watched The Office for 3 hours, and when I tell you I watched 6-7 episodes, I didn't laugh a single time.
Yeah.
Some of the pranks are kind of funny, don't get me wrong, and the whole Jim Dwight thing is very entertaining. But outside of that, when I watch the show, I'm not going to say I'm uncomfortable. It's just like I get dry humor, but like some of the humor just doesn't hit as well.
all right, guys, do you like, let's say.
I love Will Ferrell. I love the dry humor. I love the dumb shit. If you're going to tell me your mom joke or a Obama joke or a knock-knock joke, I'll laugh just about every time. I watched The Office for 3 hours, and I literally was like, what am I watching? The jokes, the puns, none of them hit. None of them were funny. I didn't laugh a single time. It could just be I was on season 2, and season 2 wasn't as good. But if you're going to compare the whole show to The Office, I watched 3 hours of it, didn't laugh once. I literally was laughing my ass off during Outer Banks episode 1.
All right, guys.
I've gone that too far.
Do you guys like sweet tea?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, some people don't like sweet tea. It's an acquired taste. The Office is an acquired taste. Now, to say it's trash is completely dumb.
I'm not saying it's trash. I'm just saying it's not for me.
Okay, that's fine.
That's my mere argument. I've stated why it's not for me.
Right.
Like I stated, I'm not going that far. I think it's a good show. There's some great moments, but it's not for me. Like I stated to Drew, I'm a big fan of The Big Bang Theory. That's my show. I love that show.
That show is funny. That's a great show.
You know, Parks and Rec also wasn't my tea either.
A lot of witty shit, and it's way better than The Office.
But Big Bang Theory has a laugh track. It makes you want to laugh. It makes that laughing sound in the studio. The Office, you had to know when to laugh at the jokes. So it's kind of different in comedy.
My favorite part though is when I watch some of the scenes and you can see the actors and actresses just trying to hold it in. Because there's times where you'll see John Krasinski, Jim, and he has to sit at his desk and cover his mouth because he's starting to lose it. Those are kind of funny to me. But there's also times where I'm like, some of it's really dumb. And I think if it gets over, it's just not for me. That's all I can say.
It sounds like The Office, you know, your actors are breaking character. That's like acting 101. You don't do that.
That's what they're supposed to do. Some of it is like.
I think you're off the wrong path though, man.
You were like, I think we compared actors and like actresses to each other. We were like, I would rather have John B. over, I don't know,
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell is not like, it hasn't made me laugh yet.
What a
Steve
joke.
Carell's hilarious.
What a
If
joke.
he was a real boss, he would have gotten fired.
That's another thing too, is that like Drew has made it very obvious that like it's not supposed to be taken that seriously, but it's also like if it's a mockumentary, like this boy is supposed to be fired, gone. Also, Toby, terrible HR person, terrible.
But it's a running joke though. Everybody hates Toby.
I know everybody hates Toby.
Yeah,
But Toby's the reason why they all still have jobs, though.
He's the worst person in America. He's such a bad person. He's a divorced father. He's just a terrible person.
Sarah Cameron over Pam. There's no debate.
Yeah, I'll say
that. Jenna Fisher's from St. Louis. Fun fact.
Yeah, Pam is.
Hunter just doesn't care.
No, I don't. I have probably watched Outer Banks in the entirety of the show, probably 7 to 9 times. I've lost track. I've gotten my brothers to watch it. They have both told me Outer Banks is their new favorite show. My mother, I wouldn't go as far as her favorite show because she's obsessed with the Game of Thrones, but she said she loved the show. I'm trying to get my dad in on it. He was sucked in on a couple of episodes. He doesn't watch TV, so the fact that he got sucked in means it's a pretty dang good show. The Office, I have yet to make it through season 2, and I have tried probably 80 times to watch The Office, especially when The Office was told that it's going to get taken down from Netflix, and we were all like, ah! But it's like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to miss that show one bit.
I think for me, The Office was ruined so fast because like, instead of, like, you know how in high school The Office was huge and everybody was kind of watching it? But then it was, like, for me, it got ruined because I was kind of late to the party and all the, like, punchlines and the storylines were ruined for me, you know? So it was, like, it's no fun to watch it. I want to go to say as far as Outer Banks is my new favorite show, like, because currently my new favorite show right now is Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I'm like rewatching it again because I love that.
That's not a new show. It's an old show.
I know, but it's on Netflix again though.
It just resurfaced.
A lot of people are rewatching it again for like the first time since they were kids, and they don't realize how good this show is. Like, I forgot how good it was, and then like I rewatched it, and I was watching it, and I was like, "There's some dark like stuff in here for like a little kid show," you know? Like there's some very dark stuff.
Like adult humor and like dark humor in it.
And then it's like the like philosophies and the whole to kill, not to kill, the whole storyline back. Like it's actually pretty good in terms of that retrospect. But that if I had to pick a show on Netflix that's like my favorite show, it's probably Stranger Things or The Witcher. Stranger Things or The Witcher is It's great. I implore that obviously, like, oh yeah, show off the guns. Woo! Woo!
So we took off the jersey.
Ooh, them Dunkin'
Whatever.
Donuts boxes. The Dunkin' Donuts boxes over here I
Oh.
see paying off.
Body built by donuts.
I mean, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, The Witcher is great. I implore that if you kind of like Game of Thrones, but here's a big key. It's similar to Game of Thrones in the aspect of it's like medieval times, the whole beast fantasy aspect. It's not like Game of Thrones in terms of all the nudity that Game of Thrones loves to show.
Porn. It's porn.
That's the one thing I hate about Game of Thrones was that there was nudity, but you can't like fast forward through it because freaking one of the main characters is describing his entire plot to another character, and you're like, well, I got to sit here and watch it now because I don't want to be left behind. So I implore you guys to give The Witcher a watch because me and Hunter are trying to fight through The Office for Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can give it a fair chance. If I can argue with you, I mean, the only argument I can give that I will like 1,000% like have no disagreements if you compare it season by season.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1 of Outer Banks versus season 1 of The Office. Outer Banks like
Season 1 of The Office is
1,000%.
awful.
And season 2 of The Office is terrible. It's a hard watch for me. Season 2 of Outer Banks, I can't wait for. So I feel like I'm already gonna that's gonna be 2 for 2. Season 3, Outer Banks could turn into a Riverdale thing, and if it does that, then it's gonna lose me. Because Riverdale I thought was really good for season 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 it just fell off a cliff and is god awful now. But I heard that The Office is good from season 3 and on. I've only watched up to 2. I'm like halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way done with season 2. It's rough. It's hard.
I have a question, Hunter. Did you like the basketball episode?
The basketball episode was okay.
It's kind of funny.
Like, it was probably the only time I actually, like, chuckled. I didn't even laugh. I chuckled. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. But other than that, like, I didn't find myself laughing. I laughed harder at John B's New Balance joke. And, like, when they walked in there, then the basketball.
JJ's whole thing is so funny when he first gets the gun. And it's everything like, why do you have that gun? Why do you have that gun? And then the one time he needs the gun, he's like, no, everybody's.
He's like, it's on the porch.
John B. More like John D.
Yeah. John B., when are you going to give her the John D? That shit made me laugh. Like, that was funny.
I'm not going to lie. It almost lost me with the whole Key and Sarah thing.
When they were fighting or when they got back together?
When they were fighting. And, like, they left him on the boat, and I was like, oh, this is going to be stupid. And then they actually, like, reconciled, and Sarah Cameron, like, opened up about her being a bitch.
And then you find out like what happened, and I was like, after watching that, I was like, what the fuck? What was the argument?
And then Key at the end was like,
like what?
And then Key was like, I'm sorry, I called the cops.
I was like, bitch, you were mad at her for calling you out on something you did? What the fuck?
Facts.
I was like, why are you mad?
You know what I'm not a fan of is the whole possible Pope and Key thing where they might do like a cheers thing and be like an unspoken thing, except Key is obviously very attracted to John B. The show makes that very prevalent.
But there's also like a weird triangle between JJ, Key, and Pope.
Well, JJ's just mentally like fucked up, so he just needs constant.
Yeah, the 3 guys are like, they all have a thing for her, and they said that like day one, like they've all had a thing. JJ tried it. He said he got shot down. He was like, try and try and get in there. They kissed. It was whatever. Then towards the end, like she's like all up on John B. And Pope is like getting butthurt. Pope explains what happened, and then like I think they kiss, right? And then JJ's like, what the fuck? So it's like a
It's a whole weird dynamic. Like he is just the Pogue bicycle right now. Except they all haven't actually done anything with her other than kiss her.
Yeah.
And
It's
she
like,
pushes him back and goes, no Pogue on Pogue action.
yeah. And it's like, what's going on?
Outer Banks is a good show. I'll give it that. I didn't give it a fair chance at the beginning, but now I'm kind of drawn in, and it's pretty good. No cap. Other than that, boys, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Been a great episode. I think we're starting to get our groove, starting to figure things out. We're starting to make some key interviews. You know, these boys made fun of me because they were like, Jacob, you're promoting the Alabama chick, and now she ain't even happening. How do you feel? And I'm like, it's okay. Shit like that happens. But, hey, we got Drew Hanlon on, who's an NBA trainer, and that was a great interview. We were only supposed to get him, I think, for like 30 minutes. We ended up talking for an hour.
Yeah.
He even knew Driscoll. He knew Driscoll, too.
Yeah.
He's been to UNF before, so it's not crazy. Other than that, we got a couple more big interviews coming our way. The next one we got, Drew, is
Richie Schaefer, former Ray, former Ranger, former Philly, experience playing big leagues, and now he's a Twitch streamer now. So
awesome. Hunter, before we sign off, you got anything special lined up in terms of our interviews?
Special guests that are in the work. I have two. I have former Royal Ace, World Series winner and Baltimore Ace, Jeremy Guthrie, we're in talks with. And then one of my old coaches that actually taught me when I was little, so you guys can bug him about that to see how great your mom's favorite Little Leaguer was.
I hope
Rich
you're
Ware,
trash.
as a World Series ring with the Yankees, played for the USF Bulls. He's a heck of a player, so I'm excited about that one.
Can't wait. And
things to come.
And I'm going to get back on the interview trail as well, try and contact some people. We got some great things lined up for this show. When you're going to see our Instagram, we have a new logo designed by yours truly. Hunter is in the work of working on some merch. Obviously, if you're very interested, we'll drop a poll on Instagram, see if Hunter can find something cool to design, and maybe we'll get some merch for us and maybe drop for some special listeners. And Drew, he's rocking some sick Carmelo Anthony gear. And
one more time for the fans.
For the fans.
Syracuse 15, Mr. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
That was difficult to watch trying to figure out the camera.
Yeah, it's tough.
Baker, Braden Point. I have been host. Hunter, before we sign off, how do we get those bracelets again?
Bro, go on to Love Bracelets. Go on Instagram. You'll find them on me. I follow them. Use my code HMalone. You'll get 40% off, and they're sick.
We'll drop that in the link below and on Instagram. I have been your host, Jacob Prale. We've got the Spinnaker Swiss Army knife and Dunder Mifflin aficionado, Drew McDonald, and your mom's favorite Little Leaguer and your local Pogue, Hunter Malone. We have been the Pen. Stay safe out there, folks.
Let's get it.